Another day, another morning. Well, good morning from Studio 10 a.m. This is me, Rola.
This is me, Abdurrahman Muhammad al-Beiruti, or you can just call me Abed.
Okay, you have to say the full name.
I have to.
Well, today with us on the set, we have Ali the first, Rand, our canvas girl, Treka, the troublemaker, and
Judy.
Judy. But what did we forget about?
We didn't forget. No, I was just giving you time. Treka was asking you. He wanted you to give him a title. So
The sexiest man alive. Okay,
the
there you go, Treka. I had to say it.
The self-proclaimed sexiest man.
Well, thank you guys. I'm happy that I turned you guys on. But it's time to get the morning show on.
Well, let's go on then and start our episode for today with Judy. They said so, girl.
Well, since today our proverbs come from Kuwait, let me start with a fun fact before I start with the proverbs. Did you know that in Kuwait, the national bird is the falcon? It's found everywhere, it's on their currencies and their stamps. So, our first proverb is اللي ما يعرف الصقر يشويه وياكله. The literal meaning of it is he who does not know a falcon would grill and eat it. And the meaning behind this is that a person who does not know the value of something might consider it as an ordinary thing and even might abuse it.
So I think that this proverb is exclusive to Kuwait,
It is actually.
right? I
since
mean,
the
you wouldn't say it in any other country in the Middle
Yeah, I
East.
never heard
No,
of that
you
thing.
could say it in any other country. I mean,
Well, yes,
technically, because the falcon is like it's something that's pretty expensive.
Well, I know, but you know the value of the falcon in Kuwait differs from its value in other countries.
True.
Right?
True.
So I think this
Maybe in the Gulf
this could be
states.
exclusive.
The
I
Gulf
mean,
states, maybe.
Probably.
The funny part is I thought I've known all the proverbs and I've heard them all, but this is the first time I hear this one.
You're going to hear a lot more too. We have plenty more proverbs.
And right now, actually, we have a second proverb, which is الأعور على العميان باشا. And its literal meaning is the one-eyed is a lord on the blind. So the moral behind it is having a small problem or a flaw is better than having bigger problems to an extent that this small problem might turn to an advantage.
And I want to say something to the audience that to me this is the first time I'm hearing those two proverbs actually.
Yeah, me too. But you know what? The second proverb that you just mentioned, it reminded me of something that my mother used to say to me. الأول على صف الكسلانين.
Well, translate that. You have to
You have to translate.
Yeah, it
It's-
means.
Go ahead if you want.
Well, it means you're
You're the best of the worst.
the best of the worst. Yeah.
Well,
To put it in simple terms.
Rand has put it in a good way, I think.
Yeah.
This is the worst.
Rand's mother. Rand's mother.
Rand's mother, actually.
But tell us the reason why she used to tell you that.
Whenever I did bad at school or like did something bad, she
Which
used
is
to say
rare.
that to me.
Which is rare.
Yeah, that was rare. I
Yeah.
admit.
Well, we had a lot of did you knows, you know, but I think right now, the best did you know we have is from Mr. The sexiest man alive, Treka.
Well, guys, it's time for the Did You Know segment right now. And I'm gonna start with the first fact. Did you know that cockroaches don't like humans the same way we don't like them? I mean, after they have been touched by a human being, they often run away and wash themselves. And guys, you know, to me that makes a lot of sense because I often wash my hands too after touching one of those humans.
Well, I actually agree with that too.
That's a good one.
It is a fun fact, though. It is a fun fact.
Well,
that I
there are
didn't
a lot to come. As a child, Beyonce charged her parents' house guests $5 each to watch her perform. Well, like they say, if you're good at something, don't do it for free. Just look at Kim Kardashian for an example. She got rich for doing something she does best. Nothing.
Well, you know what? Smart girl, young girl, Beyonce.
Well,
Doing
definitely.
it the
Well,
right way.
look at her now. My next fact is, in the entire Lord of the Ring film trilogy, no female characters ever spoke to each other. Well, yes, of course, because if they allowed them to speak to each other, we would have all remembered Lord of the Ring as a series and not a trilogy. Because, you know, they talk a lot.
Thank you, Treka.
Next, a 42-year-old Russian fisherman was being brutally attacked by a bear. He was saved when the ringtone his granddaughter installed on his cell phone rang. His ringtone was Justin Bieber's song Baby Baby. Can you imagine this song alone sent that bear running into the woods? Unbelievable, right? I mean, even that bear couldn't bear that song. That's how irritating some people find Justin Bieber, even animals. But anyways, we're gonna move to the next fact. Hafthor Bjornsson, otherwise known as the mountain from Game of Thrones, broke a 1,000 weightlifting record by carrying a 30-foot, 1,433-pound log for 5 steps. Can you imagine? This guy lifted a log that was 1,433 pounds heavy. How could he even do that? Even I, till this day, can't even lift my grades up. How could he even lift that heavy log?
That's a ton. That's talking about 1 ton.
Man. Next, a British company has created Vanta Black. Now, I know you guys are asking, what is Vanta Black? Vanta Black is a material so black that the human mind can barely understand it. And I saw the pictures and I saw the materials and I reached to a conclusion. Vanta Black is a material so black that it is darker than Hitler's heart and brighter than my future.
That's harsh.
That's
You're being
like a-
harsh on
a bit on-
yourself, you
I'm
know?
just being honest, guys. Now next, Adele. Who doesn't know Adele? Adele's Hello music video reached a higher view per hour peak than the trailer for Star Wars, The Force Awakening on YouTube. Wow, Adele bit Star Wars, huh? But you know, I shouldn't be surprised. I mean, Adele is so talented to the point that she can sing about a toilet seat and still make us all emotional. Really? Now, this is somehow interesting. Google will pay you $1 million if you can hack its web browser. Yeah, right. An Internet Explorer will pay you $2 million if you can open its web browser in less than 2 minutes. I mean, the Internet Explorer's web browser is so slow, sometimes I think it's a blonde chick.
The question is, does anyone use Internet Explorer?
No one does it anymore because, it's so slow.
I don't think so because, you know...
I think most of everyone uses Chrome or
Chrome or
Firefox.
Mozilla
or
Firefox.
Mozilla or some, you know, other
I'm a fan of
browsers.
the Chrome.
I don't
much
use
faster.
Chrome too much. I use I'm more of a Firefox person.
Well, of course, this is not an advertisement for, you know, we just
They're
mentioning
free
facts.
anyway.
Or
They're free
just-
though, so it's okay.
Now, who is a fan of Tupac?
I am actually.
Well, did you know that 10 albums have been released after Tupac's death in 1996 and all have gone platinum?
Yeah, I did.
And a lot of people, for the reason that 10 albums have been released after Tupac's death, caused a lot of people to think that Tupac is still alive. But you know, they have done it with a lot of people, these conspiracy theorists. They have done it
Yes.
with Jim Morrison, they have done it with Andy Kaufman, they
Bob
have done it with
Marley.
Elvis Presley, Bob Marley. It's just because these fans are in love with their idol so much that they can't let go. But guys, I assure you, Tupac is dead. So move on. He is dead, just like your dreams.
Well, even though he is dead, his music still lives on.
Forever, definitely. All eyes on me. Well, my final fact would be watching cat videos will boost the viewer's energy and positive emotion and decreases negative energy. Well, yes, of course, guys. I mean, who doesn't enjoy watching videos of pussies? I mean, especially if they were little kittens, right?
Yeah.
Well, that would be all for the Did You Know facts for today. If you guys are interested, keep on watching the morning show and we'll be back with more Did You Know fact twice every week. Thank you, guys.
Well, now you know why he's the troublemaker. You
I
asked me this
I was.
question again and again. Every time, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to be watching Tare and hearing Did You Know, you will get to know him more and more, and you will get to understand why he has that title.
I think we need to put a disclaimer though on the bottom of the screen when Treka comes on.
Well, I find that as a compliment. Thank you.
It is, yeah, no problem.
18. Well, moving from Treka, and let's go to Sportive with Ali Isa. Ali the man.
Well, we have someone, a midfielder, all the way from Syria to Qatar to Suwait. A Syrian footballer plays for Syrianske FC in the Swedish league. Played for the national team of Syria in both 2008 and 2010. He scored most memorable goal ever in the Greek championship in 2005. And to be more specific about this goal, a shot with over 35 meters of distance that shook the goal exactly at the right angle of the net. So here you are speaking of someone such as Ronaldinho from Brazil, who scored the goal on England, you know, from a very long distance, shocking everyone, shocking the goalkeeper, shocking the players, shocking the audience, and kept his name to be remembered all the way when you are speaking of football around the world.
Well, see, I have to cut you off for a second there. Some of the hardest things to score is scoring through set pieces, and set pieces are almost I'm not gonna say impossible, but scoring through a set piece is really rare. And having been actually named as scoring one of the most marvelous goals through 35 meters out is a feat of its own. Imagine being 35 meters away from the goal and shooting a small white ball into the corner of a goal. It's that hard.
Well, I can still remember watching a program about David Beckham teaching people how to free kick. You know, he was teaching kids. I think that some of you
I
I
used
think
might
the
have
watched
program
watched
that.
was Bend It Like Beckham.
Yeah, it was
Bend
called
It Like Beckham.
Bend it like Beckham.
Bend it
exactly.
like Beckham, right? So when you see the technique that the guy uses, one of the prominent names when it comes to free kicks in the world of football. So it is something that is not easy. Just look at the techniques, how the ball curves all the way from the player's foot to reach the goal. This is something really remarkable, and here we are proud to have someone like this coming all the way from Syria to Sweden to achieve this this goal. He played in Qatar, in Sweden, and his home country, also Syria, as I just said. A modifier, a midfielder, which is a very important role in any team or club. I mean, you are speaking of someone as the center of the team, right? You know, just for people who are interested in football.
Right. No, being a midfielder, it takes up a lot of energy because you have to be on the entire field most of the time. You have to go from the offense down to the defense as well.
And it feels like you are the only one controlling the game. Well, not the only one, but you are the mind
Exactly.
of the whole team.
Exactly.
Yes.
See, Judy, here we go again. Guys and football.
Yeah, I'm not
And they're
getting a
sitting
word,
there
you know.
Well, look.
The only word that I understood was David
Midfield.
Beckham.
Well, no, I mean, if you come to the Middle East and let's say to Syria, well, let's say that a game between Real Madrid and Barcelona is about to begin. You can see like all people out there, girls, guys,
girls more
men,
than guys.
women.
You said the magic word. The second you said Barcelona,
Did you see
know,
me?
Lola just like stood up, just like,
smiling?
You see, so you can see girls out there everywhere just watching that game. So I think that girls could be interested in football.
Well, I'm interested. Sometimes.
you're interested in the
Not all the
uniforms,
time.
the colors of the uniforms,
And the hot players, maybe.
Exactly. You're reading my mind.
Well, that's it, guys. This is my first segment of this episode about Luay Shanko from Syria. Back to you.
shank you.
That's a good one.
Thank you. I thought you were correcting him.
No,
In fact, he was like,
I was trying to be funny.
okay.
I don't know, Treka, was that funny?
Yeah, it was really fun.
Yeah, it worked.
Thank you. That's actually a compliment to me if Treka says it was funny. Well, we go from sports now to salt and pepper, to something that's really important in my life,
And
which
my
is
life.
food.
In my life.
And everybody's
And
life.
Everybody's life.
We have rand with salt and pepper.
Well, in Salt and Pepper, we promised you that we will introduce you and tell you more about so many delicious dishes from the Middle East. Our dish for today is couscous. And you know, guys, this dish, we don't really, we rarely hear of it, right? Because this is, for me, this is the first time that I hear of it. Couscous is a Berber traditional North African dish, and it's well known as a national food in Morocco. But in Tunisia, Algeria, Mauritania, and Libya, it's a staple food. Couscous's meaning is well rolled, or well formed, or rounded. It could be, actually, it describes the way that couscous looks like. It's small balls, rounded, well rounded. And in Morocco, it's cooked by steaming and served with meat, lamb, or chicken. and with the stew. The stew has vegetables like zucchini, carrots, and potatoes. And spicy, also you can add to it spicy sauce. In
It's a very
Tunisia-
yummy dish, by the way.
I'm
Yeah,
actually getting hungry now just because. of all
Yeah,
this.
and all the vegetables inside the stew, I think
It's
that
very rich.
And this,
I wish we made it. We make it. We cook it here. in
this is
Syria.
also new to me. You know,
Yeah,
I'm
I
just hearing
know.
this for the first
Have
time.
you ever
you know.
tasted couscous?
Nope. I'm telling you, it is new to me. I mean, so I'm getting pretty interested about this. So I'm hearing each and every word that Rand is saying.
Yeah, and I'm listening to myself too, because again, it's a new dish here in Syria.
But
and
you have to cook it first.
But you
remember?
know, once
Ali,
my
so I'm sorry to cut you off. Ali, do you think it's a carbohydrated food though? It's like carbs, eating carbs, since
Definitely.
it's like wheat and everything.
definitely.
Yes.
Well, definitely. I mean, you're speaking of zucchini and other ingredients
Potatoes.
that are full of
Carrots,
full
and
of
it's
carbohydrates,
made of wheat, from wheat.
and also wheat.
See, that's why I was asking, because I mean I know that you're into the gym and weightlifting and everything, so knowing about carbohydrates and proteins is something important too. And also Rola also lifts weight as well. She's hitting the gym every day.
Well, the couscous is different. In Morocco, it's cooked in a way, and in Tunisia, it's cooked in another way. It's very similar in Tunisia. It's very similar to Spain's famous paella, and it includes fish, octopus, squid, and other ingredients. And with it, they serve harissa, which is hot chili pepper paste.
Wait, is the seafood in
In,
Spain or is it
No, no.
No, it's in Tunisia's
In
dish.
in Tunisia? It's
Couscous.
I mean, in
it's-
Morocco,
Yeah,
they
and
cook it completely
some,
different.
Oh,
than
some even cook it with chicken.
Yes, well, like Morocco.
Morocco and Algeria, I
they,
think
they
they
do
do
it
cook
with
chicken.
chicken.
No, because I mean I heard octopus and squid and everything, so I'm pretty much into seafood. I
You know,
like
it
seafood.
depends how rich you are. If you can
Yeah,
Now,
true. There you go.
yeah.
meat or
With seafood.
fish or
So,
chicken.
so I mean, like, you can go to Morocco, you can go to Algeria, you can go to
And in
Tunisia,
each
try
country-
couscous in three
Countries,
different
yeah.
ways.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
different
here's
ways
a
and flavors.
fourth way to cook couscous, and it's in Egypt. In Egypt, it's not a main dish, and it's not served as a lunch dish. It can be eaten as a dessert.
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 As a dessert.
Yes, dessert.
How is that? Do you know how it's prepared?
Well, it's prepared with butter
Okay.
And sugar.
and sugar, cinnamon, raisins, and nuts, and topped with cream.
That
Oh my
actually,
God,
that sounds
that's-
really good.
it
No,
is,
seriously, that
it
sounds
it
really
sounds
good.
really
But
delicious.
imagine going to Morocco and say, I want couscous, and then you go
Yeah,
to eat. They
Yeah.
especially the part with the nuts filled with creams.
Yeah, you
Well,
can
cream.
tour Africa and eat couscous in
You
so
know,
many
the-
ways.
It's-
This guy never stops.
Exactly.
No,
But
Trey can
it's
never
interesting
stop.
though, because I mean it's on the map or geographically speaking, it's a popular food in North Africa, as you
Yes.
mentioned, but they prepare it they prepare it, excuse me, a certain way in Morocco, and right next door almost in Tunisia it's prepared a whole different
whole
way.
different way.
And then when you go to Egypt, also down the line a little bit,
Yeah.
it's a whole different process
becomes
as
a
well.
dessert.
Exactly.
But I mean, in Egypt, you know, you went into another field. I mean, it turned from a main dish to
To a
become
dessert.
And
something
so-
that you
And
have
it-
to the
and
main
it
dish.
sounds really
Yeah,
good
yeah.
too. Treka, do you have anything funny to talk about
And
now?
Treka, please stop making us laugh, and he never laughs.
I'm not saying anything.
He
I
does.
was surprised because I always knew that couscous was a main dish
Main
in
dish, exactly.
Morocco, but I got surprised when she was saying that it became a dessert in Egypt with butter, nuts,
Especially
and
with
cream
nuts
and-
and
You look
cream.
surprised.
To me, I
Yes.
think it's a dessert as well. I mean, I would look at it as a dessert as well.
yeah.
It's a treat.
Well, let's go back to the history of this dish. Couscous was originally made from millet, then was replaced by wheat. And archaeologists found kitchen utensils,
Utensils.
this is a hard word for me, with couscous traces traced back to the 10th century in North Africa. So it's a very old dish, I guess. And it was found, the couscous recipe was found in North African cookbook. And the cookbook is a cookbook. I know for recipes.
cookbook.
I don't know how to explain that, but it's well known in Maghreb and Al Andalus. So it contains dishes from Maghreb and Andalus, North Africa, and Al Andalus in Spain. Also, in the 13th century, a historian from Aleppo includes 4 references on couscous.
So Aleppo, the city in Syria.
Yes, in Syria, exactly. Forgot to mention that.
Couscous got around.
Yes.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
definitely.
a historical dish because, I mean, most of the Middle Eastern countries cook it, and every country has its own way of cooking it
Exactly.
with different recipes and different ingredients. And it has been since
But it
a
has the
long
same
time.
name, right?
Yeah,
has
it's
the
the
same
same
name.
name. And
Well, just one thing, that the idea of the Middle Eastern countries, or let's say the Arab countries, you feel like for someone as a foreigner who's not from the Middle East, that all countries are similar, but when it comes to the dishes, to food, they are really different. I mean, moving from one country to
Accents,
another,
traditions.
the dishes differ a lot.
Yes.
Even here in
Everything.
Syria, I mean, even here in Syria, in Damascus, we speak differently than people in Homs or,
And we
or
eat
yeah.
Aleppo.
differently than
And
them.
even the
exactly.
dishes are
Different.
different in different states. Like
Exactly.
definitely, like for an example, dara. They cook the mlehi. We'll talk about that dish in a later episode. They cook it in a different way than, for an example, sueda. But
Which
it's the
is the
same.
neighboring state.
Yeah.
So this is really interesting. I mean, if
We're
you
talking
come
about
to
the same
if
country.
you come to the Middle East and you go from one city to the to another, I mean, not from one country to another, and try the same dish, it tastes different
Yeah.
from one place
Completely
to
different.
the
Yeah,
other.
from the other city.
so, another thing about couscous is that it spread to Turkey from Syria during the 16th century.
Wow.
And it is very famous, especially in France.
It's a.
Nice.
I can see that couscous
can
is
go
a very
to-
important dish.
Yeah, exactly. I never knew all of
France,
these things about
you
it.
know? France
So-
couscous is different, probably.
Well, I mean, you know, the person who created this dish must be really proud
He-
of himself.
his name is probably couscous, maybe.
That's something that'll make Treka laugh.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
So
One day
this
we'll
was
explain.
this was our dish for today. A dish that we all were amused to know more
Exactly. I'm
about.
fascinated by it.
It is, no,
actually.
seriously, it is fascinating.
And I wish someday that we will all gather someplace and cook it.
And
Try.
Yeah.
And
cooking
eat it.
this.
And try it. I've tried
Yeah,
it.
sure.
I love it.
We'll cook it in 4 different ways.
Okay.
Yeah?
Well,
You bet.
I want the
That's-
dessert.
That's a very good idea. No, I want the main one, the one with the chicken.
You can have the main one. I want the dessert.
well, I think that everybody here wants to eat it, but no one wants to cook it.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
we
I
have
think
time
cooking
till we
it is
find
hard.
someone to do that.
Well, we'll definitely get to that in one of our episodes. Actually, maybe people can see what couscous is about.
Ooh, I'm sorry to cut you off. Our boss Hakam said season 2 has surprises and something special. So season 2 of Studio 10 AM, we're gonna have a kitchen
And we're gonna be cooking,
and we're gonna be cooking.
making all these
So
dishes come to
let's
life.
you guys have to stay tuned with us till season 2 as well.
Absolutely. And now, away from couscous and from everything else, let's take a break, and we'll be back. our first segments with food and couscous. Let's go to the most popular Eastern food now with Judy and Top 10.
Well, Rola, I'm glad we're still sticking to my favorite thing in the whole world, which is food. So I'm starting with number 1, which is hummus. It's a mashed chickpea dip made with tahini, olive oil, garlic, and lemon juice. It's considered here as an appetizer served with pita bread or the Arabic bread.
And it's also served in different ways as well.
A lot of ways, yeah. We use it in a lot of foods in the Middle East. Number 2 is tahini. It's the foundation of many good Middle Eastern recipes. It's used as a spread on bread and crackers. Number 3, falafel. The fried balls made of chickpeas, onions, and spices. We here we
Well,
do great
falafel
sandwiches.
and can you guys imagine falafel and hummus?
Well,
Yes.
definitely. You can eat both of them together. Like
Exactly.
normally
Dip
I
the
hold
falafel
the
in the hummus
falafel
and
balls
eat them.
and
Judy,
dip them
thank
in the
you for
hummus.
that. We're
Well-
starving.
This is a really important and really famous type of food here in Syria, especially, and in the Middle East. I mean that I hear that some people who are traveling to Europe, who are traveling to the United States of America, and starting this business of making falafel to people out there, and the feedback that I can hear from people out there is that
is
it
very
is
famous,
really
Ali.
delicious, and people are fond of it.
It
It's
is,
just,
yeah.
And excuse me, but to most of the people in the United States and Europe, like the places that do falafel and hummus and all those kind of stuff, the people love it, but they don't know that the falafel and the hummus in the Middle East is the real deal.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yep.
like no matter how delicious it's going to be in the United States, when you taste it from a Middle Eastern chef,
It's our
for
thing,
example,
you know.
Absolutely.
it's definitely gonna be different for you.
So,
Okay, I'm starving.
okay, Rola.
Okay, Judy.
So number 4 is tabbouleh. It's like a salad made of parsley, cracked wheat, mint, and many
Tomato.
vegetables like tomatoes. Yeah.
And onions and olive
It's a
oil.
very green meal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think that it was cooked or made the first time in Lebanon, right?
Well, I always wonder about this and asking people that I know that whether this dish is originated from Lebanon
Syria.
or
Or
from
Syria.
Syria.
It's actually a good question. It's like, what came first, the chicken or the egg?
Yeah, but don't forget that a long time ago, when tabbouleh was eaten by a lot
Was
of Middle
made-
Eastern,
was
it made
discovered.
Syria and Lebanon were one country.
Exactly.
So
The
now
Levant.
it's that
Yeah,
they're
but
divided.
it's like, well, Syrians always say that this is a Syrian dish, and Lebanese
people
say
say
that
You know what?
it is a Lebanese
We
dish.
can just say it's a dish from the Levant.
Yeah,
We'll agree to disagree.
from the region, because a long time ago they were all one country: Iraq, Jordan, Syria, Lebanon.
That's right.
It's just a never
But it's
ending.
Syrian.
At least we just get it into our stomachs, and that's fine for me. Number 5 is pita bread or the Arabic bread. It is served with just about every meal here in the Middle East. You can make it warm, toasted, stuffed, or dipped. Pita bread also is very easy to make. Number 6 is baklawa. It's the Middle Eastern delicious dessert, and the Greeks use honey actually as the syrup, while in the Middle East, orange blossom or rose water is used.
You guys call it baklava. Just to clear that out. In the West,
Yeah.
they call it baklava.
Really?
So it is not in the West.
Yeah, of course.
They eat
Yes.
they eat some of it in the West
Great.
as well.
You know, just hearing about desserts, hearing about sugars. You know, I haven't tasted any type of sugar or sweets or anything like this for more than a month. So it is really,
Torture.
you
Hard
know,
for
torturing
you.
me.
You should
to
tell them
hear
why
about
though,
this.
because he's preparing. He's preparing for a competition.
Yeah.
Champion.
A weightlifting, a body,
A bodybuilding
a bodybuilding
contest.
competition, and we've got full faith in you,
So
and
Judy,
we
you're
know you're gonna
torturing
do well.
everyone.
Well, I tried to convince him to ruin his diet and stop eating
Yeah,
healthy
they're
food.
always doing this.
So back to food, Ali. Number 7 is
Back to food, Ali.
That was so
Say
mean.
your name, Ali.
So number 7 is baba ganoush. It's a vegetarian favorite. Its smooth and creamy texture makes it ideal for dipping pita bread or vegetables. It's I think eggplants,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Eggplants,
Tomatoes, yeah.
chopped tomatoes, I think, and chopped
I'm dying. I swear, I'm
Some olive
dying.
oil.
green pepper and red pepper,
I'm dying.
Yep,
I
that-
need food.
and olive oil on top.
And it is this dish is served as an appetizer.
Yes.
When you go to any Middle Eastern restaurant, baba ganoush is always served as an appetizer.
You can order it.
And
It
it
tastes
has
really good.
a very weird name, Baba Ganoush,
Baba
which
Ganoush.
means
Father of
father
Ghanoush.
of
What's
Ganoush.
ganoush?
I don't know, the cute one?
No,
Yeah.
Ghanoush is like the
I
one
think
that
so.
acts cute.
Yeah.
Oh, that
Like
Spoiled
but
or
you know, it
something?
The
has
father of
nothing to do
cute.
with.
Father of the cute one.
All right.
Okay, so number 8 is
Okay, so you don't like the subject, Judy?
no, not really. I like this one right now.
Okay,
Which-
that's why you just want to jump.
Let's hear
Yeah.
what it is, though. I'm dying to hear what it is
It's Turkish coffee.
now. Oh, it is a daily, yes.
It's actually famed for its bold, rich taste. And according to a Turkish proverb, coffee should be black as hell, strong as death, and as sweet as love.
Black as
Wow.
hell. Whoever said that was racist.
How can you say that in Arabic?
Can you?
لا كيف بدي اقول القهوة لازم تكون
سودا.
سودا مثل جهنم وهي مثل الموت وسويت شو سويت
حلوة.
حلوة مثل الحب.
All
I
right.
don't think love is sweet actually.
That's a good one.
See, it's actually my daily routine where I have to have my Turkish coffee in the morning.
It's mine.
It's everyone's daily routine in the Middle East.
Yeah,
Like
we have
it's a
to.
must
And
have.
usually they serve them in small little cups or little.
And because it's strong, it's much
Yeah, no,
stronger
I-
than
I-
American coffee.
I have them
And
in
it
mugs.
tastes really good.
I do drink them in mugs. I have to drink it in mugs.
I have to have 2 cups in the morning.
Do you guys drink it with sugar or like?
I have
No.
to. For me, I have to disagree with the Turkish people. I don't like it sweet.
I don't like
just
it sweet.
I
either.
don't like it sweet
Yeah,
either.
me neither.
Me neither, yeah.
We all drink it without sugar.
I don't
I think we all
really
disagree
drink
with the
coffee
Turkish
much.
people.
Judy, let's go to the final one.
No, still we have number 9. Lola, why
Oh.
are you so rushed?
Guess what?
I
I,
know, 'cause
wanted
it-
to go and eat.
I know, I'm hungry too.
I can feel you guys. So number 9 is ful mdammas. It's boiled fava beans with spices. It can be smashed and eaten with pita bread. And the last but not least, number 10 is Turkish delights. They're sweet candies made from sugar and cornstarch. These candies are just irresistible.
Are we
You just
done?
say that
And
for
you're
every
just staring
dish
at
you're
you.
mentioning.
Well, she likes food a
Yeah.
lot, so
Yeah.
we can understand.
Judy,
She
are
likes
we done?
teasing you.
Yes, we're done.
Seriously, I don't know if anyone could hear my stomach growling over here because I'm really hungry right now.
See why I asked you, Judy? Because I can hear it.
She can hear it. If she can hear it, then I think you guys can be able to hear it soon.
Well, I know. I'm afraid that some of the audience might say, those, don't
People.
they eat? I mean,
Yeah.
every time we speak of food, everyone is hungry, everyone is
I'm
craving
really
for
too much
food.
than I am.
I mean,
It's-
don't you
it's-
eat,
it's
guys?
not
Just
just it's
eat
10
before you
a.m.
come
No,
here.
it's just
Yeah.
that
The
I'm
thing
always
is,
hungry.
the thing is that my weakness is literally food. Seriously, I like to try something every time. Like I've asked people, have you ever tried frog legs? Frog legs are amazing. It tastes like chicken, but with like a little bit of everything tastes like chicken. Seriously, everything tastes like chicken. When you don't know what to taste, it tastes like chicken. It tastes like chicken with a hint of seafood in it. It's amazing.
Trika,
Yeah.
Well,
you better say something.
Well, I would rather not let him continue because I felt the passion when he was talking about.
It's good. It's good. And sushi. I can
Yeah.
keep going on forever and ever about food. I love food. But let's
But-
not talk about food. Let's get into
I agree.
let's get into around the web right now with our favorite Treka.
Well, now we're gonna talk about around the web. And now we're gonna talk about a topic that everyone has been talking about recently, and it's Ramez Galal's new prank show,
Yeah.
which is called Ramez Yilab Benar, which means, translates, Ramez is playing with fire. Now, Ramez Jalal is known to be, he started as an actor acting in Egyptian movies because he's also an Egyptian. But recently, the couple of 4 years, he has become very famous for the prank shows that he has been doing. Like last year, we still remember the airplane prank that he did
Prank,
with
yeah.
Paris Hilton and with a lot of Middle Eastern celebrities. It brought a lot of outrage, it brought a lot of
Controversy
views.
about,
A lot of people were watching because
Especially
they
when
couldn't.
he hosted Paris Hilton.
Exactly, people couldn't believe. But this year he has also a crazy prank idea, which is making the whole building set on fire. The idea is he invites a celebrity, acts like he's doing an interview with him, and then suddenly the whole building is caught on fire.
I think
People
we should,
start
we should
screaming.
try that here.
Yeah, people start screaming, people start shouting, and he makes it so realistic to the celebrity he is interviewing that the celebrity has no chance in hell to ever like think that this could be a prank or not. He even he's not only doing pranks with Middle Eastern
Yeah, he roasted.
celebrities. This year he did with Antonio Banderas.
Yeah.
Steven
Yeah, I
Seagal.
saw
With
And
that.
Steven
Antonio
Seagal.
Banderas and Steven
Oh, I didn't
Seagal.
watch
the
I
commercial.
watched the
No.
episode with Antonio Banderas, and I mean, literally, the guy was this close to having a heart attack.
Yeah.
See, his pranks are all like that, though. I mean, from the first time he started, the first time he started his pranks, he did it in
Shark,
Egypt.
something got to
With
do
the
with
shark,
sharks.
No, the
Yeah,
first time it was in
take it.
Egypt, where they'd bring
pyramids.
in, they'd
Yeah,
bring
I
in.
mean, it was the
Yeah,
pyramids. It was
exactly.
Ramez, Ankh, Amun, just similar
Yeah,
to
something like
that, yeah.
I didn't
Ahmed.
see that.
Oh, no,
And
he-
the year after it, he did the shark
The
prank,
shark, yeah, the shark
where
attack.
you'll be in a boat, then
it starts to
suddenly the
sink.
boat starts drowning, and then the guy, of course, the guy that would be with him is an actor. He would act like he was drowning, then the shark ate
And he
him.
was eaten by a
Yeah,
shark.
yeah, it's so extreme. The pranks are so extreme. You guys might have thought that Ashton Kutcher program,
Punk'd,
you know,
yeah.
Punk'd
Was extreme,
was
yeah.
extreme. No, believe me, Ramez Galal has been taking it to the extreme. Everyone is watching. You would hate to love watching the show because
Exactly.
you would hate what you're seeing, what
Provocative.
he's doing to the
Very.
celebrities.
Well,
but at the same time, you don't have the heart to flip the channel. You want to see how it all ends, his reaction, and what.
And what would they do? And how
what
would
would
they
they do
react?
when they?
He's literally gotten beat many times. They've
You know-
literally hit him.
Yeah.
You know this prank, maybe last year when he
The
hosted
plane crash.
Ahmed Al-Saqqa, an actor from Egypt. Ramez Jalal got beaten really hard
He
by
did.
Ahmed
And he
Al-Saqqa.
didn't care. He didn't even like change his mind.
But you know,
or-
guys,
he kept on
lots
doing
of
his stuff.
people criticize him for his ways and the things that he
I know,
does. That
Well,
it
honestly,
is-
I don't like to watch it.
Well, you know, he,
Yeah.
he
It's
might,
funny, though, it's
well,
funny.
he
Some
might be
people do
criticized.
cr-
He
yeah.
might be criticized. People might not like his pranks and stuff like this. But you know, the guy is really a big success here in the
He is.
Definitely.
He's good.
No, no, he is.
Because don't forget that this criticism and outrage is bringing more attention to his
Exactly.
program. So whether you like
Negative
it or whether you
publicity
don't,
is,
as
It's
long
publicity.
as you're talking about it and either you're criticizing or complimenting the program, you're just bringing the program more fame and more success.
Well,
So
as they say, negative publicity is a publicity by
definitely.
itself.
You know, and one more thing that you could see the other side of those celebrities.
Yeah.
You know, you're always watching them acting, but
Yeah,
here you
exactly.
can see them in real life, how they act in real life when they are under stress or when, you know, they face a catastrophe,
Danger,
just like
like,
Antonio
yeah.
Banderas.
Yeah.
The building was just about to go on
And
fire.
he was trying to help others.
He was
He
just
was
about
trying
to
help
die,
people.
the guy.
Actually, Antonio
Most-
Banderas was
Regardless,
trying to
I
help
think
people.
regardless of the controversy that
Yeah.
his shows provide, because they are a good topic that everyone talks about, whether it's in the morning or whether it's at night after his shows. Regardless of the controversies, I'm a fan of his shows because it's something funny. I mean, I'm the kind of guy, and I'm sorry to say this though, I laugh when I see somebody fall. You know, I can't help it. you
I
know?
laugh when I fall.
Exactly.
I laugh at everything.
I hope you fall in front of me so I can laugh.
I do the
We'll
same
laugh
thing.
together.
I laugh when I fall.
We all laugh when we fall. Hopefully, we catch ourselves before
I
we
hope
fall
you
too.
fall.
Thank you, thank you.
I hope you fall on camera.
I can fall.
Come on.
No, I'm
I
not.
dare you.
You dare me to fall. She's daring me to fall.
Okay, I hope you guys fall in love. Now, that would be all for the Around the Web segment. If you guys haven't watched any of Ramez Galal's prank shows, I advise you to watch any video. Just go to YouTube, write Ramez Galal prank show, and just watch any episode. And believe me, he's going to attract your attention a lot because you're going to be interested in seeing more pranks. Even if you don't know the celebrity, even if you're living in Europe and in US, just watch that prank and you're gonna be really interested, even if you don't know the celebrity, because the kind of effort he has put in the prank is unbelievable. There's a helicopter. It shows that the budget was high to
Exactly.
And the
pay
thing,
for
you
Shows
know,
you that it's the
thanks
real
to
deal.
NBC when it comes to that.
definitely
right?
NBC. Well, that'll be all for the segment, and back to you guys.
Okay, so take his advice and do watch Ramez Galal. It's worth it. And moving on, let's see what Red has for us with the Tune In segment.
Well, the sound of his oud attracted the whole world to his talent. Omar Bashir is an Iraqi-Hungarian musician. His father, Munir Bashir, was considered to be the supreme master of of the Arab maqamat scale system. He started playing al-oud when he was just 5 with his father. He taught him how to play, and then when he grew up, he started to play as a soloist in his father's concerts until his father passed away. That's when Omar al-Bashir faced his the turning point in his life, and started to explore and research new instruments in music. So that exploration led him to be an international artist and a musician. He studied in the Baghdad Music and Ballet School and the France Liszt Academy. During his career, he toured many countries and released more than 19 albums. And his music is a mix of traditional Arabic music and a jazz-like improvisation. He performed internationally in the most prestigious musical balls. And you know, guys, in the latest in his latest concerts, he took ballet dancers. They performed while he was playing, and I believe that was magnificent, beautiful, and so touching. You can feel it, music, the sound of the oud, a very Arabic and Middle Eastern instrument
With
played
ballet.
with
It
ballet.
looks like you're about to get emotional right now talking about it.
Yeah.
I got caught in the moment. Just it was really emotional listening to her speaking, telling the story of the
His
guy.
father's death.
I
Yeah,
need to also
exactly.
point out that Omar al-Bashir is not the same as the president of Sudan. This is a
No.
different Omar al-Bashir.
Another Omar al-Bashir.
A good
I
point.
just, I just have to
musician.
point it
This
out
one is
because
a
if you Google him, you're going to get
musician.
Omar al-Bashir, president of Sudan. No, this is Omar al-Bashir from Iraq.
Has nothing to do with politics.
Yeah.
Well, Omar won many recognitions and international awards for his works and musical achievements. He played with so many international musicians in Spain, in France, and in Italy. He was born in Budapest. Let's mention that he was born in Budapest, 1970, and as I said, he received many awards. So let's mention some of them. He received a medal from the Arab Music Group, which is affiliated to the Arab League. He also received a Peace Prize from Belgium Media for his collaboration with the Catalan viol player and composer Jordi Savall. Yeah, I said it right. In addition, he has received a medal from the Southern Culture Center in Lebanon, and a medal from the Patriarch of the Syrian Orthodox Church.
It's a tongue twister for you, isn't it?
Lots of awards, lots of appreciation for this musician. This was all about Omar al-Bashir, a very important person in life, to know that he added something to music and to this field.
Music's a whole different emotional level for everyone, especially for me. I love music, and I love everything that has to do with music, depending on my moods. But let's go from music in the Middle East right now, in general, to music or celebs from the Middle East with Ali Isa, or Ali the First, as we call him.
Well, guys, for our celebrity of the day, I would like to start with the awards that he was nominated for: a Golden Globe Award, a Satellite Award, a Screen Actors Guild Award, 2 Dorian Awards, and he won a Critics' Choice Television Award. It is none but Rami Malek, an American actor of Egyptian heritage, studied fine arts in the University of Evansville, Indiana. He began his acting career with a guest starring role on the TV series Gilmore Girls in 2004. I mean, this series is very famous, I think.
Yeah.
Gilmore Girls. I didn't recognize him, unfortunately.
Do you wanna? Well,
It's a chick flick.
Must
I
be
mean, I'm
a
not gonna
very,
recommend
very
it.
handsome guy. All the actors who acted in Gilmore Girls were so handsome.
Well, look, I think that the impression that the audience are having of this episode is that this guy, Treka, is always making jokes and you are fun of guys. I mean, David Beckham,
Yeah.
or when we speak, and this guy, everyone was handsome.
And
And
we
Judy
Judy
Gilmore
likes
Girls.
food.
And Judy likes food.
I like food too.
we like food.
Yeah,
This
you
is
like
the food section. We're dressed in white today, so
The
we like
food
food.
section.
Exactly,
I
Judy,
like this.
me, and Abed.
the food section. Well, but for Gilmore Girls, it is famous here in the Middle East also.
Yeah.
I mean, for
Yeah.
me, I've heard of it. I've watched some
I
episodes
used
of
to
it.
watch it all the time.
Great. This guy was best known for playing the lead role of Elliot Alderson in the critically acclaimed USA Network television series Mr. Robot. After the success of Mr. Robot, he was nominated for all the for all the awards that I mentioned at the beginning of this segment.
One of them is the SAG, the Screen Actors Guild Award, which as you know is one of the biggest awards, almost like the Oscars, almost. But the Screen Actors Guild Award is actually a pretty big award in the U.S.
Well, just mentioning the awards that this guy was nominated for, maybe he did not win most of them, but it is a remarkable job.
Achievement,
It is a remarkable achievement and a great job that the guy did. And to also highlight some of the roles that he played The War at Home, HBO miniseries. I just got into politics. I don't know why. Maybe it's because of Omar al-Bashir that got into my
Yeah,
mind.
it could be, yeah.
Yeah. The HBO miniseries The Pacific in 2010, Larry Crown, Paul Thomas, Anderson's The Master, independent film Ain't Them Bodies, Saint in 2013, and the critically praised dramatic film Short Term 12 in 2013. So,
He was in
So
the Larry
many.
Crown Affair.
yep.
That's actually a pretty. I think that was with Pierce Brosnan, if I'm not mistaken. It was actually a pretty good movie. It's a really good movie.
Well, so here is someone who is not only famous in the Middle East, but famous all around the world, and especially that it's in the United States of America, maybe more famous there than here in the
Than
Middle
here in
East.
the Middle East, absolutely.
Well, guys, that would be all for Rami Malik. Just to say his name again, maybe the name may not ring a bell, may not be that familiar to people all around the world, but the achievements that he did, I advise everyone to look him up and see what the guy did in the world of film industry.
Well, thank you, Ali, and definitely we are proud of Rami Malek, and still we have lots of celebrities that we're going to be introduced to you that it will surprise you that they are from Middle Eastern origins. We're going to take a short break, and we're going to be right back.
سهران معاك الليلة مهموم وسارح في خيالي جربت سنين طويلة ما قدرت نشيلك من بالي سهران معاك الليلة مهموم وسارح في خيالي جربت سنين طويلة ما قدرت نشيلك من بالي
back with Rand's favorite segment, Canvas, as I called it earlier. Our Canvas girl, take it away, Rand.
Sol a name ringing a bell for being the founder of conceptual art. An art added to the field a very, very important value. Well, we have so many names well known around the West: Bruce Nauman, Joseph Beuys, Eva Hesse, Joseph Gosseth, and in addition to Sol LeWitt, which the names that you may not know about are the Middle Eastern ones. Well, today we have one for you, which is Faisal Samra. He is one of the Arab Gulf's leading artists, a conceptual artist, Bahraini born and of a Saudi Arabic nationality. He incorporates digital photography, painting, sculpture, video, and performance to create a repertoire. He has worked for the Institute of du Monde Arabe, Paris, in the sections of art, graphic, and as a consultant. Well, in his works, Faisal Samra, he tackles issues of visual culture and imagery, including historical and contemporary realities. There's also this figure in the center of his works in his performance or photography or videos. This person who is playing with motion, playing with things that refer to the past, the history of the Middle East, referred as a symbol to something that returns to the history or the contemporary realities. He denounces the visual culture systems of mass media, and he deals with it in his performance especially, and his digital photography. Well, he denounces with advertisements and political communication, and he is opposed to their large-scale manipulation. This artist is very well known. As I said, he's Bahraini born and of a Saudi nationality. I believe that he's phenomenal because, you know, conceptual art that appeared in the 60s in the West did not appear at the same period here in the Middle East. It appeared lately, about 10 years, 20 years maybe ago. So this man has made it to be international. He has won lots of international awards, well known around the world, not only the Middle East. He has exhibited in so many countries in Europe and in America. And a very big name to tell you about today in the field of art. Faisal Samra was, I don't know, guys, have you ever heard of, let me start with conceptual art. You know what conceptual art is?
You know, I was just about to ask you that question. I mean, the conceptual art has always been a mystery to me. I don't know what it means. I'm not...
It's such a coincidence that it was on your mind, because it was on my mind as well, you know, right now.
Well,
But
yeah.
let me explain one thing before we go further. Of course, Rand is an artist herself.
That's why she's the canvas girl.
That's why she's the canvas girl, and who's better to talk to us about art but an artist herself.
You know, and I was really glad that Rand was talking about this topic, so I was...
so we can ask her.
I couldn't wait to ask her.
Yeah, well,
Tell us.
any questions?
Tell us about
He was
it.
asking what
The conceptual art.
Conceptual art. Well, it's a modern art. You can see it as installation. Installation is more known to people in general. It's about focusing on the idea of the artwork, but not putting it in a very direct way. So they play it smart. Everything that's direct, it makes you, it makes you stop questioning what's the idea behind it. When you see something that's so clear and direct, you stop questioning. You just take what you get, all the information, the visual information that you get, and you stop asking questions.
It leaves no mystery behind. Like, it
Exactly.
doesn't keep you questioning more. What did he mean by this? What was the
Exactly.
What was the
So this-
subliminal
about
message
acceptance.
behind the
thi-
painting?
This is the kind of art that gets you to think and just look at it and focus, triggers the mind, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, exactly.
Look, focus,
helps you-
but don't ask.
Yeah, it is. It is
No,
something
you should
really
ask
intellectual.
yourself
You should
when you
ask.
watch
Ask
you,
yourself, but don't ask anybody
Exactly.
else.
Don't
I'm
ask
just
the artist.
when you see the work, you just start questioning yourself.
Exactly.
What does this mean?
you think about the materials. Why did they use this material? Why the sculptures are made this way? Why is this photograph is hanged on that wall? You start questioning things, and it's pretty deep. When the first time that I saw a performance for Joseph Beuys, he's very well known. I think he's German. I was all confused about what I saw. It was another level of performance. We'll not talk more about it. Let's not spoil it. There are yet many to come, many artists to talk about. Middle Eastern artists, conceptual and classic artists to talk about from the Middle East. Today we were telling you more about Faisal Samra. Let's go back.
Movie time, movie time, movie time. Treka, take it away.
Well, for our movie time segment, we're gonna talk about a movie called Factory Girl, and it's an Egyptian movie that was directed by the famous director Muhammad Khan, and it was written by Wissam Sulaiman. It stars Yasmin Rais, Hani Adel, and Salwa Khattab. These are famous Middle Eastern actors. It's a movie that has drama, romance. It talks about social issues and women's rights too. I'm not gonna tell you the whole story, so I won't ruin it for you, but it's a story about a young poor woman who works in a clothes factory to provide her family like all her neighborhood girls. She lives a love story that is controlled by She lives a love story that is controlled by society, fear, love, and tradition. And this movie This movie got the Best Actress Yasmin Rais Award in Dubai International Festival, and the movie also competed on Academy Award Oscar for the Best Foreign Movie. It's funny, not funny, sorry, it's tragic how sometimes love can be lost due to the society you live in and due to the circumstances that you face in your daily life. And this movie highlights this issue which a lot of women in the Middle East face till today, and also around the world, not only in the Middle East. So I advise you guys to watch this movie. It's not my kind of movie, but it is for sure an interesting movie because it's talking about real issues that a lot of people face and a lot of people are interested in. You can see how the woman ended up because it was a love from one side, and her society and family were were standing in her way to stop her from loving the person she really adored. And it's dramatic, it's intense, you watch the movie and you'll know what I mean.
The thing about this movie and lots of other movies in the Middle East, and especially movies that are made in Egypt, they reflect the real life of the Middle Eastern person, whether it is a woman, a man, the poor families, how they live, the
issues they
defending women's
face.
rights, and the differences between the social classes of people, how the rich people treat the poor people, and how they interact with each other, the drama that they are living in, the tragedies that are happening all over the Middle East.
issue is not just in
Yeah,
the
but-
Well,
Middle East, we've got
but
it all over.
those movies do highlight the real life
Exactly,
of
yeah.
people.
I have
And
to agree with you because they're shedding light on very important issues that did not until nowadays, and they're just, I don't know why they're still
People
Dealing
were
with
scared,
it,
people were scared to
showing-
express themselves the way they wanted to express
Some people
themselves.
try to some people like to find the meaning in the things they're watching, say like in art in general, if it was in the film industry or art or music or poetry. A lot of people, like now for an example, when you're living in a country that is filled with problems, if it was either political or social or whatever, you would love and you would be interested in seeing movies that shed lights on these issues. You know, it's not always nice to like see movies that are like a fantasy movie that doesn't reflect the
You wanna be
reality
able to
that we
relate,
live in.
That's why.
So this movie does reflect the social issues that most women find in the Middle East.
In the Middle
So you're
East.
basically.
And we are.
Sorry, I cut you off, Rila.
It's okay, carry on.
So I just wanted to say it's just like seeing what you're living.
Yeah.
Yeah,
In
that's a good one.
مين ده يا بنت اللي حاطاه في وسط هدومك يا
حظي هو اللي قال لي امشي ورا قلبك ويجوز عشان بقى عندي 21 سنة ويا لهوي لما الواحدة مننا تكمل 21 سنة. قمر يا بت لو شفتيه حاجة كده 5 أدوار. مش لابس دبلة
7 نقط يا بت وتلاقيه مستنيكي.
هو مين ده يا خالتي؟
الفرح والزينة. بصي يا بت الزينة.
عارفة يا خالتي لما بشوفه بتلج واعرق وانمل وادي على في سري من غزي منه. يا واد يا تقيل
والزغاريت يا عيدة.
وبعدين معاكي بقى.
هي قابل واحدة تقول لواحد انه وحشة؟
لو كنت فاكرة أو حتى عدى على دماغك إن أنا ممكن أتجوزك في يوم من الأيام يبقى خيالك وداك لبعيد أوي يا شاطرة.
لما نعوزك تاني هنبقى نقولك مع السلامة.
انت اللي خليتيني اتعود ابقى خدام.
أنا الحق عليا، سبت البت لازقة فيكي في الرايحة والجاية وأقول معلش ما جراش حاجة، أهي خالتها برضه.
بصي على قدك، لو بصيت لك على قد انت وهي هتولعوا.
بتقولي إيه يا وطسة يا معفنة؟
انت اخرك عربيه كار وانت اللي تجرها بدل الحمار. لا بقى ده انت ايه ده ابو عيسى اتربى. افتح الباب يا عيد.
هالي انتوا سيبوها لي. 3 بالله العظيم اللي هيقرب من بنتي لا اقتله.
ببتسم من كتر حبي للعالم.
Okay, and we're gonna, since you said movie time, I'm gonna go and say drama with Judy and soap opera.
Well, today I'm gonna talk about a great Syrian drama series, which is الفصول الأربعة, which is translated to 4 seasons. And do you guys know why was it named that?
Yes, it's talking about the hotel, how it was built, the 4-season hotel.
I was thinking of the pizza.
Yeah.
Since you mentioned the 4 seasons, you just put a big smile on my face. I love
You remember
that
the pizza?
No.
Ali remembered the
Some might
pizza.
think of the hotel and some might think of pizza. So it depends on what's going on in your mind.
I was thinking about the series itself, Judy, but Ali was thinking about food. I was trying to get out of that thing and not think about food.
You sucked me back into food
I
again.
just reminded
It
you
was
guys.
Ali, it wasn't me.
The awkward moment when the whole segment isn't about the hotel and isn't about food. It's about a soap opera.
It's about drama.
Actually, the name was about the symphony, the 4-season spring symphony, to be specific. It was the theme song, if you remember.
Yeah.
What was it? The
And
theme song of the soap
Dun,
opera.
dun, 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 dun.
That's it.
And
exactly.
none of us thought of music.
Yeah,
Whoa.
you know what I thought of? I thought of that they call it 4 seasons because the family had 4 girls, 4, right? Or were they
That's
5?
a smart one, actually. I
Four
never
or
thought of
five?
it
Different
that
way of looking at
I'm
it.
not really sure.
Well, I also thought it was because, you know, like summer, winter, like you watch the whole soap opera and you see how what
The 4 seasons.
they got through in the
Oh,
4
you
seasons.
Yeah,
of-
but I want to know more about it though, Judy. Tell me
Okay,
what
Judy,
happened. in it.
sorry, we've been disturbing you a lot.
It's okay. So
Cutting you off.
it's directed by the great Hatem Ali, written by Dala Al-Rahbi and Reem Hanna. And the stars are very renowned names in the Middle East and in Syria.
Yeah.
Like Khaled Taja and Nabila
Nabila.
Nabilsi, may their souls rest in peace. Salma Al-Masri, Maha Al-Masri, and Bassam Kousa. So it's basically about family relationship, their society, different social classes, and love. It had 2 seasons actually. So this is how it goes. The families consisted of a mother, a father, and 5 daughters One of them is deceased. The other four, so one of them is married to a very rich businessman. The other one is married to an educated man working in weather forecasting. The third one is actually
Married to a lawyer?
Yeah.
I think
Married to a lawyer.
no, married to a poet.
You know,
Oh.
the deceased one is the one married to the lawyer.
Oh, I'm
So
sorry.
technically they
Yeah,
are
yeah.
four still, though. You know,
Yeah.
your theory still
I think the
works.
lawyer
Therefore-
was Jamal
One of
Sleman.
The lawyer
One
was
of them
Jamal
passed away.
Sleman. One of them
the
was
wife of the
deceased,
lawyer,
you
I
know,
think she's
and
dead.
four of them, each one is living in a different society. Let's say it's not in a different society, but in a different status,
Conditions.
in a different condition
And
than
it's-
her sisters. So this is the idea behind the name, and this
Yeah,
is,
the
you
four
know, I
different
just
seasons.
discovered this.
You're
Even
smart,
though
I
I
Ali.
only got
years
this.
And like we've
You're a
watched it
drama
like
critic.
30 times.
Yeah, I
And
know.
we never really thought of it.
And I'm
Yeah.
sure
Ah,
Judy
deep.
is about to tell us all to keep quiet and let me carry on.
Exactly.
Okay, Judy.
If you wouldn't cut me off, I would continue the whole story.
What?
You just
What were you
ruined it.
saying? Huh?
I was just being mean.
So
So the other one is married to a poet, but they have a problem. They can't have children. And the last one is this, no, actually the fourth one wouldn't want to get. She just refuses to get married because she is against the idea of marriage. She believes actually that of women's capability and freedom.
So wait a second, Jude. They have 5 girls.
Yep, the
One of
five.
them is
One
dead.
of them.
So it's
yeah.
4 seasons.
Okay, so it's 4 seasons.
So the last problem with the deceased daughter is that she died and left her daughter with living with her father. So it's all about it's just talking about the daily lives of this family, their relationship together, and
It's
that,
emotional and
Somehow funny sometimes and
funny,
dramatic.
exactly.
and love at the
Dramatic.
same time. So it's like about
It's 4
everything.
seasons. It's 4
And
different.
It's
talking
a
about-
family. It's a family kind of soap opera.
talking about the
it
fourth.
it is a family soap opera.
Talking about the fourth actress, the fourth daughter, I remember that in one episode she decided to become a taxi driver. Do you remember that?
She's rebellious.
Yeah,
She'll
that
want
was
to
a
prove to
very
her family that
beautiful
she can do
idea
whatever she feels like.
This series just remind me of my childhood, not everyone's childhood, I think.
Yeah,
but
And
It
we were
was,
so
taxi.
happy when
No.
the second what?
why were you
Continue,
laughing?
continue,
No,
continue.
when the second season was released. That's what I was gonna say.
No,
I,
I mean,
was talking about Judy because she said it reminded her of her child, and I asked.
I think I know why
it's
you're
not the
laughing.
idea. You know, it's not the idea of being a taxi driver. It is because the soap opera is really old. I mean, we used to watch it when we were just
Kids, it
was in the
I
90s.
think. So whenever you see a rerun of an episode, you just remember those days. Not only the soap opera, but those days that we were living back then.
Like, what were you thinking?
They were just happy moments.
Yep.
Yeah.
You just put a smile on our faces, Judy. Thank you.
From
I hope
happy
I was
moments that we just shared right now with the Four Seasons and took us back and we reconciled and had some reminiscing thoughts. Let's take it to another level now with the architect tour with Ali the First, Ali Isa.
Well, our tour of the day will be in Egypt, and specifically in the Luxor Temple, a large ancient Egyptian temple complex in the city of Luxor. It has several great temples on the east and west banks of the Nile River. The Nile River is, of course, very famous when it comes to Egypt. And speaking of the history of the pharaohs, speaking of the pyramids, speaking of the Sphinx, everyone recognizes the Nile River. The temple is not dedicated to a cult god or for the death of a king, because as you know, when it comes to the history of ancient Egypt, everything you
Was
feel like everything
dedicated.
was built for the pharaohs, for the kings, just to
And for
contain their
religious
tombs,
reason.
and also for religious reasons, because they had many gods to worship.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
They had the sun god, they had the god of
The moon god.
afterlife, and yeah, they have gods. of everything.
Osorios and
Yeah, they had
Osiris,
Horus, Osiris,
Zeus,
and all the other ones. Yeah.
I mean,
Lots of names.
they got to the extent of building a whole pyramid just to contain one of their gods or one of their kings,
Pharaohs, yeah.
in order to contain their tomb. The chapels near the temple were built by Amenhotep III and Alexander the Great. You know, when I was reading the segment for this topic for the first time, I just remembered watching the movie of Alexander the Great, Alexander of Macedonia, and I was just trying to remember when did he go to Egypt and build the Luxor temple.
I don't know. I mean, I usually know. I usually have something like smart to say sometimes about this, but I'm actually clueless for a change.
Very
I was
humble.
speaking of the movie because, you know, Amenhotep also is one of the well-known gods when it comes or kings when it comes to the Egyptian ancient
Okay,
history.
so we have till now we don't know the reason why this temple was built.
Well, no, it was not
I
dedicated.
think
as
all
I said,
temples,
to
all
anything.
temples were, from what I know, all temples were created for the pharaohs, for the afterlife, because they thought that they're going to come back after they died, because they thought they were eternal, and
Yep.
so they're going to come back in the afterlife. And unfortunately, I've never visited any of their temples or the pyramids, but I've seen pictures and I've seen how they pack everything in there. They put all their belongings
Yes.
for the pharaoh himself, and they put them all in his temple, in his place, so when he comes back to life again, he finds everything the way it was. And it's actually, I mean, they created a whole, let's say, a whole compound for him through the Luxor temple and everything like that. That's how it is. It's not the Luxor.
Even they made portraits. They put
Yeah, exactly.
portraits
But
in
we're
the
talking about
graves.
Luxor in Egypt and not Luxor of Las Vegas, because the Luxor Hotel in Las Vegas is shaped like a pyramid, and there is the Sphinx there.
You just got us in a totally different, in a totally different thing. Well, the Luxor temple, instead of being dedicated to the, to a cult god or a king, it was made for the rejuvenation of the kingship. It may have been where many of the kings of Egypt were crowned in reality or conceptually. So I think this was the main
The
goal
answer. Yeah.
for building that temple, and it also served as during the Roman era as a legionary fortress.
So you asked the questions and you answered yourself back. So your assumption wasn't that accurate, Mr.
It wasn't that.
Know-it-all.
I said for the pharaohs. I didn't say
Mr.
any-
Know-it-all. See?
You know, just by looking at him, you know, he was confused, well, whether to answer or not, so he just made up an idea and said it.
No, I didn't make it up. It's fact, but I might have been mistaken with
A little bit, just with the historical facts.
So you know, the pyramids, the Sphinx, and everything about the pharaohs, and back then in Egypt, in that era, in that time, in the time of the pharaohs, everything till our day is a mystery.
It's a mystery.
You know, I mean, I could also think of watching. You know, I always relate everything to movies. I remember watching the Transformers and those script written on the pyramids, and that they may have a different meaning, that the aliens built
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
pyramids,
Hieroglyphics.
the hieroglyphics.
They even had images on the wall of spacecrafts, like UFOs, alien like people, and they also had airplanes when there weren't no airplanes at the time.
Really?
So I don't know if they
But,
saw the future, or it was a coincidence, or this symbols meant something else.
Well, it could
But
be
it's really a
exaggerated,
mystery. Like
Yeah.
you would ask yourself, how did they know? They even knew a lot of stuff about the stars and the planets, and how the planets rotated,
Yeah.
and
But we will never
movement.
get any answers.
Well,
to all these
I
questions.
just get the feeling that the world, ended and restarted again after that era. And one last thing I need to mention, that I don't know whether Rula would admit this or not. Once we were sitting with, I was sitting with Rula and Hakam, and it came to the discussion about how the pyramids and the Sphinx were built, and Rula actually believes that aliens made all of those when it comes to the.
Yes, true, I admit this.
Yeah,
What?
really. I mean, she's totally
Well, I don't
convinced that
think a human
aliens built
being-
those.
I
No, no,
Well,
you're-
it could
you're-
be.
I
We
honestly
can't be
cannot think
sure
that a
of
human
everything
being
that
can
we
do that.
know.
They weren't built in a day, though.
We can't be sure of everything that we know, or we think that we know.
You can
No, no,
never
because
be
You
sure.
can
They
always
actually-
leave
they-
possibilities.
The pyramids were built like they actually pulled the stones through. They
What
had
are
a
these
whole.
huge stones?
Yeah, the whole. I think they're not granite or sandstone.
Where did they get it from?
Some
They
people
created
say
it. I don't know.
some
They
people
made
say
it.
the
I've been
pyramids
there,
were
I've seen
built
them.
I've
from
read them.
top
I've
down.
read-
They started from the top, then started digging down till it became. This is like a theory.
Well, everyone is speculating about how they were built, because, as I said, it is still a mystery,
Mystery, yeah.
till our
It
day.
is, and we will never know. And moving from Egypt, let's go to Abu Dhabi for now and watch this video of Fits by fans for Beyonce at Formula One.
Michelle, can you handle this? Beyonce, can you handle this? I don't think we can handle this. My body too bootylicious for you, babe. Babe. My body too bootylicious for you, babe. Can you handle this? Can you handle this? Can you handle this? I don't think you can handle this. Bugaboo. You bugging what you bugging who? You bugging me. Say, you really wanna know my picture out the window. Tell Dixie I to let the phone break my knees so I can move. 'Cause you a bugaboo, a bugaboo. I wanna put your number on the call. I have a then an email stop. Ladies, we been waiting. Ladies, we been waiting. 'Cause it's 11:30 and the club is jumping. Let me see you bounce, bounce, bounce. Abu Dhabi bounce, bounce, bounce. So keep it going now. Dip that thing.
And that's it for today. Thank you for watching Studio 10 AM.
On behalf of Studio 10 AM, we thank you again, and we hope you come with us tomorrow and enjoy the show.
Thank you and bye-bye. Ma salama.
Goodbye.
Masalama.